Welcome. Our planet is a beautiful and unique tapestry of life. Each thread that's plucked a native species contributing, each pattern a delicate balance. But in the last few centuries, that balance has been horribly disrupted. Sometimes by accident, sometimes because of human choices. We don't always realize what these little things that we do, how they impact our environment. That pet that looks oh so cute but doesn't necessarily belong in my area, so I'm going to keep it. Then it grows too big and it just gets released into the water. We don't understand the small impacts that lead to large problems until it's almost too late, but it's important, and I'm hoping in this video to be able to show you the environmental devastation these things do, ways that we can mitigate the risks, steps that each and every individual can take to be able to better this situation. We are at a crucial crossroads in many local United States ecosystems where we still can make a change. We can't just rely on the government to be able to do it, because while certain agencies are making great strides and making great efforts, they're stretched too thin. But the average, every day-to-day person can do something to make this better, just through small actions that equal to large outcomes. So some of the things that I'm hoping to be able to cover within this video is what these invasive species are, how they're reshaping the ecosystem, how they arrived, and most importantly, what each of us can do. If I can impart any part of that, it will have been a success. So where we're going to start is with the leafy spurge. In the early 1800s, one of the first invaders, the leafy spurge, quietly arrived within North America, an accidental hitchhiker in the crop seeds from Eurasia. This perennial weed outcompeted native grasses on the Great Plains, drastically reduced grazing for livestock. It spread rapidly, poisoning the soil with its milky sap, which is toxic to both livestock and humans. The damage is not just economic. This plant steals space from native species, eroding biodiversity and otherwise destroying the quality of life of everything that feeds on it and everything that feeds on the things that feed on it. The EPA suggests, when dealing with this plant, carefully uprooting the plants by hand. Make sure to wear protection, like gloves. Ensuring that you bag and dispose of them properly. Never leave them to spread. By doing this, you ensure that the plant cannot reproduce, it cannot bore offspring, and it cannot do more damage. If you want to go a step further, replant native grasses in its place. Filling up the space with native grasses helps to boost up the local ecosystem, and it will help the ecosystem to slowly recover. Zebra mussels arrived in the Great Lakes, stowing away in the ballast water from ocean freighters. These tiny filter feeders multiply at staggering rates, forming dense colonies that clog water intake pipes, disrupt native mussel populations, and alter nutrient cycles. The damage ripples outward. Fisheries suffer, water treatment costs soar. What can we do? If you find zebra mussels on a boat, the EPA recommends thoroughly scrubbing them off with a stiff brush and a 5% bleach solution, ensuring you rinse off all parts, then drying the boat completely before launching again. Other steps you can do: spread awareness along your communities if you are on fishing routes. Report any sightings. If you see one, report it. There are active agencies that actively try to limit the spread of these destructive creatures. The earlier you can stop a zebra mussel infestation, the better it is, because once they start to boom, they become very hard to handle. If you see them, never return them back to the water. That is most important. Now we're going to visit the 60s. By the 1960s, the estimated cost of invasives soared to over $2 billion annually. The pink bollworm was one of those. It was a cotton pest from Asia. First appeared in the U.S. around 1970. The larvae burrowed into cotton bolls, destroying fibers from inside, devastating harvest. Farmers lost their livelihoods. The EPA-backed solution that emerged was the sterile insect technique, releasing sterilized male moths to reduce breeding. As community members, we can help by supporting local farmers and adopting pest-resistant cotton varieties and advocating for regional pest control monitoring programs. I will state, from the best of my knowledge, the bollworm is not that big of an issue now, but it is important to make sure that the species doesn't rebound to what it was. Then there's the red imported fire ant, an aggressive invader from South America. Since the mid 20th century, these ants have taken over southern U.S., displacing native ants and causing painful stings to humans and livestock. What can you do? The EPA suggests using bait stations safely placed within yards and regularly checking mounds. Report large infestations to local extension services. They can help coordinate removal efforts. Small actions like checking outdoor gear, reporting sightings, and planting native ground cover can all help to reduce their spread. But here's a hopeful part. Every single one of us can can be a force for change. The EPA, alongside local conservation groups, provide guides on identifying invasives, removing them safely, and choosing native plants. When we all do our part, gardening with native species, reporting invasions, supporting policies, we can create a wave of change that can restore the balance, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come. Together, we are stewards of this land. Every small action does matter. Thank you for being part of the solution. So, we are going to be doing, in the future, invasives of the week, where once a week I'm going to release a short on an invasive species to keep your eye out, ways to safely remove them, things to safely do if you see them. I know it seems cruel eradicating a species that is invasive, but it is necessary, and it is absolutely imperative that we do something to help reduce the population of invasives within the U.S. So with that said, if you guys like the video, drop a like. If you guys dislike the video, that's fine. It was the first one I've done of this. It's not going to be polished. Hopefully it'll get better over time. But just let me know down below what you disliked about it so that I may improve. If you guys have any constructive input, I do read all the comments and I am more than happy to hear it. Thank you so much for your time on this, and thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.